overpowers them in game one, taking that one 5-3. So here we go. Game one is now done. The guys are getting geared up and set for the second game. You know, game two and game five of the series are always Team Slayer. We're going to be going into Team Slayer on Narrows coming up next. And Scott, I really need to know, what is SQ going to need to do differently in this game to tie up the score 1-1?
Well, they're going to have to utilize when they have 3 down more often. They rarely got control in that last game type, and it showed that they only got 3 caps from it. Every time Heaven and Earth got 3 down, they've got a cap instantly out of it. They're really good at keeping control. Status Quo just needs to set up a little bit better, and I could see them taking this game.
All right, well, now it's time to take a look at the map. Here we go. It is Team Slayer on Narrows. So, Scott, of course, on Narrows, you have to control top middle. That is the key to victory, CTF or Team Slayer. There's 2 sniper rifles on the map, and of course the rockets bottom middle. If you can control the power weapons, you can control the pace of the game. We're going to look for SQ to try and get out to an early start on this one, and we're going to be starting this one off with Nated of Heaven and Earth. He was hot for a little bit there, sparking 2 of the 5 caps. Let's see what he does to get this one going. All right, so already we have 2 players from Heaven and Earth down. Nated has no shield, but he's going for the rockets, and he fell off the map.
Well, he needs to make sure he moves here sooner.
All right, so Nated out of the game for a minute, but this guy is not. Ace has the sniper rifle here for SQ. He actually pulled that one from the Heaven and Earth base. He was taken down. We're going to jump on board there with Enable. He is spawn camping the man cannon side of the map here for SQ. And actually, we're going to stay on board with Ace right now, as Enable is going to run away from that location, trying to hide from the power-up. At the power-up, meanwhile, you have Karma sitting top middle with the sniper rifle, and that is not a weapon we normally see Karma with, Scott.
No, not at all. There was only one exception when he went to, in 2007 with Dallas, when he picked up the sniper, and he just didn't stop with it, and I said, okay, dude, you can take it from me. I'll let you have it this time, but I'm getting it back next event.
He did justice that tournament, though.
And there we go, switching over to Enable. I wanted to watch him earlier. Now you have him, and he's picking up double kills. Perfect flank here, Scott.
Yeah, that's perfect right there, Chris. He's picking up the triple kill.
He got greedy.
Everyone has to do it. It happens. You can't help it. But what he did right there is he didn't waste his nades. He took his time. He waited for all the team to get top middle, and then he sneak attacks them, and then boom, you get a triple killing spree. And if he would have played it a little bit smarter, he'd have snipers.
So here we go right now, taking a look at all 8 players. We just had Flamesword pick up a double kill. He is patrolling the spawns over at that Heaven Earthen base. Meanwhile, Nated, he's being really sneaky. Just came up from the power-up, threw flag, picked up the kill on Enable, and now he's shooting back at Flamesword, who's at his base. Nated trying to do a little too much there, Scott, and he's going to be taken down.
Yeah, and the thing with Nated is he always tries to do too much. I mean, he's such a good player, but he's kind of like Neighbor in a sense that he doesn't put all the faith in his teammates that he should. Right there, if he was on a different team that he knew players were better than him, he probably would have just went for the flank.
And right now, Nated helping his team even the score up a little bit. It's 19-17. Only 2 minutes, 15 seconds off the clock. Pretty fast-paced game here, and it's pretty even. No real control established here for the power-ups.
And the reason that is because both teams are executing their flanks very, very well. You've seen Nated be behind the Status Quo team a lot, and you see Enable come up, get a triple kill with the rockets and the killing spree. Their flanks are very well, so what that shows me is that both these teams need to work on their awareness top middle. You can see bottom middle from top middle through the little glass floor, so they need to utilize that more.
I see that, Scott, and right now we're going to jump on board with the shaved head of Killer Drew. He's rocking the gunners, and he's got the sniper rifle out, and he has Flamesword not even moving, just barely missing that shot wide right. And now he's helping out, finally connecting with that headshot. 24-22. Killer Drew's going to be taken down, and we're jumping on board with Clutch.
I was just about to point to him.
And Clutch is going for those rockets, Scott. D-Mac, you're up in the booth. What are you liking?
Well, right now, I'm really liking the aggressive play style, and I really noticed I wanted to go on a little rant about Nated. I held off. What I really like about Nated is, yeah, I work a lot with stats, but when I go back and watch the VOD, the stats don't talk enough about Nated. The aggression that he puts on other people opens up a lot of opportunities for his teammates, and that creates a lot of kills for Clutch, Killer Drew especially, and Karma, one of the better support players.
And Killer Drew just got a no-scope of a player going over the man cannon. I had to switch right back to him. He's going for it again, barely missing Assault, and perfect grenades there from Assault to take him down while going over that cannon. all of status quo looks like their goal right now, Scott, is just to push into the Heaven and Earth base.
And when you get set, when you have one set strat and you don't have alter strats, this is what happens. You keep going into this bottleneck, and if a team realizes that, you're just going to get punished. You have to be versatile. And this league, especially, you don't know what teams are going to come to play, so you always have to be prepared.
And Enable is now on a killing spree after connecting with a headshot. Now going up against Nated, and he's getting a little greedy as well. But let's stay on board with Enable. Scott, you talked a little bit about him on the pregame show. What do you like about Enable's gameplay?
The one thing I like about Enable's gameplay is he uses the crowd to motivate him, which you don't see a lot of young people do. When you look at Status Quo last year, you see them being afraid of the crowd. They always did better on the feature station than they did on the main stage, and that's because the attention really does make you play differently. So you take Enable, who can play under all those circumstances, and he just performs.
And D-Mac, what's up, buddy? What are you watching here?
Right now, I'm grabbing my stats, but what I'm looking at is how Status Quo plays at the end of games. This is what's really important. How they respond to the pressure. Look at this. They had a healthy lead. They've let it go. They've let it slip. If they lose this game, is Status Quo going to be able to bounce back? That's been their biggest problem. Down late in series, they don't bounce back like they should.
I couldn't agree more with that statement.
And it is 44-41. Clutch trying to help his team get back in this one. They are trailing late in the game, and Status Quo, well, they all seem to be happy with Ace sitting back in their lobby and sending Flame Sword over Cannon. Scott, what can we expect to see out of this SQ push here? It looks like Heaven and Earth trying to set up for defense top middle.
Well, I see this push getting shut down, in all honesty. Heaven and Earth was really prepared for it. They saw him man cannon over. If they probably would have waited a couple seconds, it could have been different. But I just see Heaven and Earth shutting it down.
And you see Clutch chasing after Assault. Assault stole his sniper rifle, picked up a headshot. Flame Sword coming right back over that man cannon for the assassination, and there they go. They get 50.
That was an impressive win by Status Quo there.
Status Quo coming back for those Team Slayers. And they're feeling all calm, cool, and collected. There's Enable taking a sip of water. That is game 2. It's all tied up 1-1. And guys, let's take a look at the stats. And there are the stats. Assault putting up +7. We saw him connect with the no-scope over on the man cannon side. Enable, he had the killing spree, which helped him go +4. Nated, the only player for Heaven and Earth, going positive. Status Quo ties it up 1-1.
And if we took anything from that first game or from the first 2 games, you see that Status Quo is geared more towards Team Slayer, especially the 2 players that they've picked up in Enable and Assault. Those players really play well when it comes to Team Slayer, but on the other side, Heaven and Earth, great objective.
All right, so there it is. It's all tied up 1-1. We're going to a quick commercial break, but when we come back, it's time for some King of the Hill.